Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Western States Invitational. Some Friday night play here in Bloomington, Minnesota. CYA, that stands for Chicago Young Americans, the 06ers, hailing from the good state of Illinois against the JR Gamblers, the 06 CYA Chicago Young Americans in the blue, in red and white, a very patriotic team. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Gamblers, white jerseys, black highlight, along with a little bit of yellow mixed in as well. We are well underway here. 6:15 puck drop. We hit that almost on the nose, and we are in store for 3 15-minute periods. We'll have simply a 1-minute intermission in between the first and second periods, and then in between the second and third, we will have a nice little Zamboni ride around the rink. And from that point on, we'll be at game's end. A nice big hit and a turnover. Gamblers in front of the net. Goaltender saves it. Nice save there by CYA. And in net for this team looks to be Nick Kemp. Puck play along the near side, sent far side. Gamblers chase and gather, but a nice play up front. Here's a chance for Chicago, thrown away. Save made by Zach Schaaf. He will be in net for the Gamblers, his first action of this till. Turnover at center ice. Pardue is running. Quick shot up high. He converts. He's not a Boilermaker, but he is a goal scorer, and that's how we start off. At the 13:30 mark here in the first period, Chicago takes the lead. Charlie Pardue, listed as a defender, comes up in the rush and converts. A heck of a goal, a great wrist shot along the near side. We'll see if the Gamblers can stunt what has been a very good offense so far by CYA. They still have it. Backhanded shot hits traffic, and now it's cleared with speed. Gamblers going up the ice. Jones still with it. Fights off a check. Shoots it into space. Nobody there to corral. Dump back in. Chasing for Chicago is Andrews. Stunted. He comes away with it for a moment. And they clear, but a turnover and errant pass. It was Schock, one of the better defenders for the Gamblers, who came up and made a play only moments ago. Now along the far side with speed. 77 takes it on. Interesting number choice there. Going down the ice, tipped ahead. CYA, all offense so far. The toe drag and the finish. CYA running away with this one early on. Exceptional goal there. Waiting for a number. This man was coming down with so much speed. It was hard to see it. 0. How about that? Luca Ori converts again at the 12-13 marker of this one. And Chicago off to a good start. All their players again from the state of Illinois, where the JR Gamblers are a team hailing from our counterparts here in Minnesota, the state of Wisconsin. I wish the JR Gamblers well. As a Minnesota Vikings fan, I cannot say the same for Packers Nation. Cleared away. And you see the size of this CYA team come through. Shot misses wide. Santiago with a nice rush. Scramble in the corner. Pushed away. CYA with a shot. Blocked. A nice stick there by Starich. Behind the net. CYI still keeping this possession alive, but an errant pass makes them take it outside the blue line. They dump on net. Shave keeps it alive. Dahl clears. Past Verlant, a chance. But the poke was not able to be converted by Carey. Opposite rush with numbers high and wide. Not on goal, but a good chance nonetheless. Dumped on net again. This time Shave corrals, and we will have a face-off in the defensive zone of the JR Gamblers. Again, my name is Alex Zapp alongside online engineer and producer Austin Herzog. We're glad to be bringing you this coverage via the Youth Hockey Hub. Great organization covering a lot of games in these tournament. On rink 1, my buddy and roommate Rick Palermo's doing some bantams. We got some peewees here. As I mentioned in the opener, both these teams have ages 13 and younger, being born in the year 2006. And if that doesn't make you feel old, I don't know what will. CYA, meanwhile, talking hockey, really controlling the pace of play so far. Slightly peculiar to be seeing hockey in September, but a part of me is certainly a fan. Some talented teams here. Again, these are Pee-wee majors. Really exceptional hockey players, again, at Youth Hockey Hub, covering all of the best. You might see these guys in the show someday, and you saw them here first. A chance. And a big body there. Flanagan, a first-line winger, had a good temp there, and a huge hit on the other side for CYA. He's got duct-tape numbers and a duct-taped last name, so he will be unanimous, but we'll call him the Hitman. Going back to Chase's shot, he has it. Really good player, and you might think, oh, he looks a little undersized. Well, that's because he's actually an 07, playing up with the 06ers and first-line defenseman. Talking about, again, number 10, Drew Schock. Really a fantastic player. Here's Anderson, meanwhile, giving chase on the other side. Poked away. Back, Anderson. Traffic. Escapes, but who else but Schock to gather? Quiets down the puck. Good stick by Delaney to interrupt the pass. Gamblers setting up shop here behind the CYA goal, but the pass misses. Body gets through. Still chasing Butella. He ends up with it. Wrist shot, snaps it off, missed right. Shenanigans along the far right side. Puck cleared to center, on net. And a good save by Zach Shave. 8:13 left here in the first period. We will have stoppages in between whistles, but if either team at any point during this game gets up by 5 goals, we will enter into a running time period. Pillars in our way. The puck comes creeping out. The Gamblers now with a chance. Charging. Dangling. It's Starich again. Good clearance. And CYA gives chase. Loses an edge, unfortunately, was Byrne. He lost it. The red, white, and blue looking to take control, and we'll have a stoppage along the near side. I think the puck crept out of the designated skating area, so we'll reset and reload. Back and forth. And a corral of young men along the far side. See who comes away with it. There is checking here once you get into the Pee-wee level. But next year, these kids will graduate, or most of them at least, to the Bantams. Cleared away. Bartle to his partner. Escaped his stick. Tried to get it on net. Interesting opportunity there for Cameron Jones. He is from Onalaska. Again, team from Chicago going left to right on your screen in the red, white, and blue. Some of Wisconsin's finest going the opposite direction. And black and yellow with a main print of white. Settle down 97. It's not McDavid, rather Hennigan. A nice dangle there, but it looks like we're going to have an offside, so they'll ring it back. Again, thank you for joining us on the Youth Hockey Hub streaming online service. This is the Western States Invitational. Some of the youth's best gathering here in Bloomington, Minnesota, at the Garden, as they like to say. Checked up. Skating. It's Hill. Passed it up to his partner, Beck, but he lost it in transition. The other way, it's the hitman. Nobody knows who he is. Wide right on the shot. Looked to be Butella who fired that one. A scrum along the near far side, and the players escape on net. No goal. Behind, trying to poke it in, and a miraculous save by Shave. JR Gamblers clear it, and they needed to. They were under duress there for quite a while. 4:56 left in the first of 3 periods, and again, just simply a 1-minute break in between the first and the second, and then we will have a resurface in between the second and the third. And a goal off of the face-off. I was looking at my notes, and I look up, and the players had their arms in the air. And I was also just about, frankly, I was calculating the amount of time in between goals and saying that the Gamblers are doing a pretty good job of keeping the CYA Chicago team off the board. It was Charlie Aaron on the goal. His first, so 3 different players scoring so far for this team from Chicago. Some great puck movement here by CYA, but a nice body for the Gamblers. Byrne tries to push it up. Cross-court pass converts and connects. The shot up high, and it's going to trickle in. A great shot. It looked like Shave got the initial touch on it, but was not able to save it off of the deflection. Charlie Aaron gets another one, so 2 goals in the same shift. And CYA is running away with this one, and now it's Butella's turn. He misses. In the middle of the ice, a shot, post, in, yes. I said his name moments ago. It's not McDavid, but it's Brendan Hennigan. And just like that, 3 goals in just about 30 seconds. Wow. As I also mentioned, we will now enter into running time, so the clock will not stop once it starts unless the JR Gamblers are able to get back on the board. But they got the size, they got the speed, and they obviously have the skill. And they have been very impressive so far in tonight's till. Butella with speed. Fights off a check, centers it, but no one is there. On the other side, Anderson passes it to himself off the boards. Too long, and LaPont will chase. Gathers, passes, pushed away, breakaway, and a nice play by Shave to ruin a CYA chance. It was going to be an A+ breakaway opportunity. But nice recognition by Zach Shave out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. Save his team from getting a 6-piece here in the first period. 5-0 right now at the Bloomington Ice Garden here at the Western States Invitational. It's not a tournament, more of just a showcase. All these teams playing games in front of the net. Not able to convert was Ori. Pass out front, a mess in front of the goal. Tough to see for Shave, but he gets a piece of that one. From the point, misses wide left from Andrews. Some fancy skating, doesn't lead to much. The Gamblers will get it out of their defensive zone and work it into some offense. Starch, he's been really one of the players that's been a bright point for the Gamblers here in the first period. Certainly not over, but a 5-0 deficit early on with how the CYA team is playing is certainly going to be a tough hill to climb. A great ring around pass, but CYA had numbers where that puck ended up. Shave saves it. Now we have 60 seconds left in the first period. Head coach for the Chicago Young Americans team is Nico Dimitrakos, and he also has alongside him someone apparently from the Chicago Blackhawks staff, so cool little tidbit there. And on the other side, Matt Carey is manning up the JR Gamblers. Turned over. CYA with a chance until a nice defensive play from the Gamblers. It was Carter Drexler who was able to clear the puck as he was basically falling down. Athletic play by the 13-year-old. Butella now. We've seen his skills on display early on in this one. A couple of assists for him. Man trailing, wanted to go short side high and shelf it. But it was not open. Buzzer sounds. That will conclude the first period. Boy, oh boy. The Chicago Young Americans, abbreviated CYA, up 5-0 over the JR Gamblers, again from Wisconsin. We'll put a minute on the clock. And ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for joining us here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Great tournament here at Bloomington Ice Garden. Again, a lot of games, some older players on some rinks, some younger players on others. This is the home ice of Bloomington Jefferson as well as Bloomington Kennedy. And Jefferson, if you're not familiar, is one of the more historic high school hockey programs in the state of Minnesota. Mark Parrish, an NHLer, went there. They have had several NHL players run through these rinks. We saw some figure skating only moments ago before this game happening on the ice. And so you guys are fans of hockey, obviously, if you're tuning into this broadcast, and we thank you for joining us here on our online streams. But again, a lot of great players have stepped foot in these arenas. We have some good players here today. Again, to wrap up the scoring, it started off at the 13:30 mark with Charlie Purdue. Shortly after, only a minute and change after, it was Luca Ori who scored the goal to make it 2-0. And then again, about an 8-minute spread, but then at the 4:50 mark, it was Charlie Aaron who scored, followed by himself again almost exactly a minute later at the 3:52 marker. And then by my Minnesota math, about 70 seconds later, Brendan Hennigan capped off a remarkable first period, putting the score at 5-0. Wisconsin trails Chicago. Here at the Western States Invitationals, we square up for the second period. Teams obviously will switch sides on the ice now. The JR Gamblers will be going left to right on your screen, and as you see them here, the CYA 06ers from Chicago in the red, white, and blue coming right to left. And here are the Gamblers. It's Shock, the defender, trying to push up the pace. An impressive showing by this man. I mean, obviously this Chicago team, a lot of talent, a lot of good play, and a big hit there for the Gamblers as well. Pankratz was the one that glued him to the post there for a little bit. Some fancy passing there by LaPointe. Just partner Andrews. They try to get it up to Delaney, and he fights to keep it in his offensive territory. Near side, puck going back and forth, and now it's rung around. Nice stick lift for CYA. They got it on net. Shave saves it through his legs. And we'll have a whistle to disrupt the action. The Gamblers will change. CYA sticking with this unit. And that was actually a goal, pardon me. Thought they blew it dead as Shave looked like he grasped that puck. Apparently not. So at the 13-14 mark, we have a goal by CYA, and we'll wait for an announcement to bring you who scored it. It was Brud Delaney who scored the goal. I was talking to Austin earlier, again, my online engineer and producer. Interesting first name. Not my first choice, but, you know, hey, 2018, man, anything goes. Brud Delaney makes it a 6-piece. 26, my favorite number. 6 right behind it. So if we could stick at this score, I wouldn't mind. Gamblers trailing, and again, we have now entered into run time. No offsides there. Give and go pass disrupted. We are here at Rink 2, so if you're on site, feel free to stop on by. Myself and Austin here in the top row. We're the guys with the camera and the headset. And the Gamblers are actually going to be now on the penalty kill. Penalty moments ago. .25 left here in the second period. 1:38 left in the PK. CYA looking to capitalize, some good passing along the perimeter, but they got to fit it inside here at some point. Some nice PK formations here for the JR Gamblers. They're not gambling too much on this PK. They're playing pretty conservative. That one off the post, but the back post, so not of danger there. Again, really just working along the perimeter to find Santiago's stick. He fits it down fast, blocked away. Rung around. Dahl has it for the Gamblers. He tries to fit it away. And now it's Hill with speed. Gets blocked off by Santiago right in front of the penalty bench. 30 seconds left on the PK, and again, running time. So the PK is running out. The clock is too. Now we're at 10 minutes. And now we're going to have a penalty going across the other side. A hook was called for CYA, so we can put that penalty on the board. There it is, and there it's going. So now, exactly, the penalty has expired for the Gamblers, and now they'll have about a minute 50 to maybe get one back. Austin Herzog, online engineer and producer. Again, my name is Alex Zappa. Feel like catching up with what's happening in my world, feel free to give me a follow. My Twitter is ZappaTime2. Instagram, simply ZappaTime. My last name is Zappa. It makes a little bit of sense. Another work, I do feature stories for Minnesota Prep Spotlight, a TV show that appears on 45 TV every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. locally here in Minnesota, as well as a best of show that appears on Fox Sports North titled Yearbook every fall, winter, and spring. JR Gamblers fighting their way to get back into this one. Now 8:44 on the clock, 55 seconds left in their power play. Carey has it, spins around, trying to get some speed, slaps it up ice. Not much action so far for Nick Kemp in net here for the CYA Americans. Off his blocker, or I should say pad rather. Jones up top, on net, deflected in front of the net. Unable to get his stick going forward was Westergaard. Awkward bounce off of the boards led to a close chance. Shock, can't quite get it on target. 7:30 left in this one. Aaron chasing. And both teams will change lines. Gamblers trying to work it back, but stuck in there by Savino. Up front, skating quickly is Westergaard. He puts a stick to the face of Savino, nothing called. Oh, and a great read there by Pardue. He broke this game open in the first period, but loses his edge there, it appeared, along the far side. Errant puck. Andrew shoots, deflected in front of the net. Thought it was possibly Schmitz who got it. Giving Nux, though, is Charlie Pardue. And you know what? I think they are going to give it to Andrews, maybe. I'm not sure. We'll see what the PA announcer does. Everyone was giving everybody Nux. I saw two players in front of the net. It's either Andrews or Pardue, but we'll see. And then there was a 77 there, too, but he's not on the roster, so that's a problem. We'll wait. But in the meanwhile, that's 7 to 0 here in Rink 2 in the Western States Invitational on the Youth Hockey Hub. And we thank you all for tuning in. They're going to give it to Charlie Aaron. So Aaron's third. He's got a hat trick. Great game for him. And there is another goal. Seven rip. Or excuse me, that was actually saved. So saved by Shave. Saw more nucks, I just assumed. I actually have a pillar right in front of my view of the goal, so it can be slightly tough to see. But we make it happen here at the Youth Hockey Hub in front of the net. Oh! And with a flash, James Flanagan breaks it open for the Gamblers. 4:42 left in the second. James Flanagan shot out of a cannon. Out of nowhere. Gets his first, so the Gamblers doing something right here. The second period. Same period score reads 2-1. Obviously, 5 rip in the first. Behind the net. Trying to get it up ice to the forward group. Carey and Flanagan included, not able to connect. Now the JR Gamblers will go on offense. 3:20 left here in the second period. Touched ahead to stop the icing. Lost by Carey. Jones picks it up. He'll wrap it around up ice. Stopped. In front of the net, the puck ends up. Close, but Shave corrals. It was Butella again who almost was able to convert. And he's had a lot of nice toe drags, backhand drags. Some nice skating. He hasn't scored yet. Five different players have scored for CYA Chicago. Charlie Aaron with 3 of them. On the other side, James Flanagan again converted minutes ago. Now with 2 minutes here left in the second period, again we will have Zamboni take a spin around the rink in between periods, so we will take a short break as well. In front, Aaron's from the pointer, Andrews was able to fit it through some traffic. He'll have another chance. Stunted. Going across the ice now is Schock. He loses it. Gathered by CYA. Savino, wrister wide right. Nice play there to keep that puck under control by Westergaard. Threw it ahead to Drexler. He's still fighting for it. Ref with his arm up. Believe we're going to have a penalty. 2 minutes for roughing. So as running time continues to trickle down, 45 and counting, they'll put up 2 minutes on the clock. Nice skate by Pardue to get off of an offsides. He almost entered the offensive zone before the puck did. He was able to kick it ahead and almost a chance for the Gamblers. Running wild along the left side was Wanta. He almost got it. Hill now turns it over. Pardue loses it. And the buzzer sounds when we come back. It will be the JR Gamblers on the power play, 1:18 left in that power play. But at the end of 2, the team from Chicago, CYA, up 7-1 over the JR Gamblers. We will take a short break, and when we come back, more coverage of the Western States Invitational. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Western States Invitational, hosted here at Bloomington Ice Garden in Bloomington, Minnesota. Alongside online engineer and producer Austin Herzog, my name is Alex Zapp, and we thank you for joining this Youth Hockey Hub web stream. If you're new to this game, it's CYA, that stands for Chicago Young Americans, hailing from the good state of Illinois against the JR Gamblers, all of which come from the state of Wisconsin. Both enemies to Minnesota, but we're friends for tonight. This game started off at 6:15. It's 7:08 right now, and CYA has a 7-1 lead, but the Gamblers enter this period on the power play so they can get back into this one in the short while. But off the bat, the speed of this team from Chicago showing in a big, big way. That goal by number 5, Welland. Really good shot by him. 8-1 now. Now make it 8-1, and again, we got running time, but the Gamblers still on the power play. 26 seconds left in it. And really, when you look at the measurables of this game, it's apparent if you're here, the CYA, they got the speed. I'd say they have the physical advantage as well. They just got some bigger guys. And this is also only the second game that the Gamblers have played all year long under head coach Matt Carey. His son, I would assume, is Ben Carey. He's the first-line centerman for this team. Put 2 and 2 together. Nico Dimitrakos, on the other hand, is leading this Chicago team that has been so very impressive so far in this one. And again, as someone who grew up in the good state of Minnesota, we do have a lot of talent, but I think we do forget sometimes that in the Midwest, there are some other states that produce exceptional players. Michigan comes to mind. Chicago's hockey scene has certainly been on the rise of late. The Dakotas are always bringing some good players, with UND having a fantastic hockey program. Unfortunate that the women's program at North Dakota had to be closed down. One of the best high school ladies in the state last year, Gabby Hughes, was committed there. Again, a top program in the nation, but she had to switch. Here's Pardue. He has one, and now he has two. He started off the scoring, and he'll be the second man in line here in the third period. Remember the name, Charlie Purdue, with the fancy backhand top shelf finish. Talented kid. But we'll move on. Running time right now sitting at the 12-minute marker. Started at 15, will end at 0. 9-1. The score right now. 5 rip after the first period, 7-1 after the second, and now 2 straight here by the Chicago Young Americans. Good name. They are in the red, white, and blue, and there's another one right in front of the net, his second as well. Luca Ori. It's funny, Charlie Purdue started off the scoring and then was closely followed by Luca Ori. They do basically the exact same thing here in the third, and by the clocks, exactly a minute apart as well. So we got a double-digit game on our hands, folks. 10-1 here at Rink 2 at the wonderful and historic Bloomington Ice Garden. Rung around. Now played ahead. The JR Gamblers just trying not to play defense. Not working right now. Tossed in deep. And they'll go for a defensive change. Ahead and stopped. Looks like they have changed goaltenders for the Gamblers. Now it's Logan Hughes, and talking with some of the parents for the game, they did say that Logan Hughes, along with Zach Shave, the team's 2 goaltenders, will split time over the course of this season. Again, only game 2 for this very young JR Gamblers team. Again, both teams' birth years 2006 and younger. I was 13 when these kids were born. That's just unbelievable. Middle school. What, 13? I think that's 5th grade. No, I'm way off. 7th grade. 7th grade. Oh, man. Just take a moment to think about what you were doing in 7th grade. If you haven't gotten there yet, it's a good year. Something to certainly look forward to. And if you have, not a bad time to reminisce. 9:26 on the clock, 1:22 on a penalty that I abruptly missed on the last stoppage. Went against the team from Chicago. They're on the PK, and there's 1:10 left now. The Gamblers have not been able to score on their 3 power play opportunities. This is the 3rd, I should say. Anderson tried to clear it across, and now a chance. Good defense, though, and they'll simply have to resort to punching it around the rink. Tossed ahead. Open player, but he was offsides and did a good job to get back on. It was Anderson. After a long shift by Graydon, he will take a nice little breather, maybe sip some Gatorade as well. Chase at Shock. He's been very active, and we got some older competition in our next game. Gentry Academy, birth year 2004, going up against AZJR Coyotes. It's a lot of... don't know what all that stands for. We'll try to figure that out in between the games. Action behind the net. Puck up for grabs. Dished ahead. Along the boards, Flanagan, the lone goal scorer for the JR Gamblers. Looks like he's taller than I am. The kid's a tree. And he's going up ice. Long stride. A chance. Starich has had a great game, a shot on net, and the rebound missed as well. But a good chance there for a second. Uh-oh, 2-on-1 ahead, and the lead pass just a little bit too high and far ahead. The saucer could not land on a stick. Nice back check there by Westergaard. He's also had a good game. Butella has 2. Held out the score sheet so far. Delaney lost his stick. And there's a blade lost there too. Westergaard along the far side, his knee into the boards. Offsides will stop. Savino goes D to D. Ten to 1, 6-11. Left here in Ring 2 of Bloomington Ice Garden. Hill, Savino going at it. Hill escaped for a second. Beck now trying. Schmitz over to Savino. Who's going to win? Hill ahead, but interrupted. Now it's Pardue. He's got 2 in this one. Oh, some nice stick handling there. Shoved ahead. Love the aggressiveness by Ryder Hill. Give him just a little bit of love before he heads off the ice. Oh, a nice back pass, but an even nicer save. Logan Hughes showing you some glove there. Clutch save. 4:45 now left here in the final period. Starich, nice steal, open chance, open shot! Deflected off the glove. Drexler was the one to release it. Far side, near side. Schmitz wanted to get it forward and does so. Drexler chases, corrals, and passes. But to a man in a wrong jersey. Hugging the left side, Bartle. Pass off the boards, goes wide. We'll see if there's an icing. They'll wave it off as the puck trickles past the red line. Finding the goal crease. Up ahead with speed. Passed ahead, and that time Hughes will hold. Doesn't matter, clock's still running. Again, as we've mentioned previously, the 5-goal rule at any point. If a team is up by 5 or more goals, running time, including PKs and power plays, will be enforced. Team from Chicago running away with this one. Your top scorers, Charlie Aaron has 3, Charlie Purdue has 2, and Luca Ori has 2 as well. Other goal scorers include Brendan Hennigan, as well as Brud Delaney. That about wraps it up. I talked about it earlier. James Flanagan, the lone man for JR Gamblers to score. Flanagan from Green Bay. A lot of this roster from Green Bay. Some Oshkosh, some Appleton, Tomahawk, Fond du Lac. Might be Lake, but it's spelled L-A-C. Les Français. Marshfield. Eau Claire even. That's a little bit of a hike. Beaver Dam, I talked about that earlier. Here's Anderson. Long hair, don't care. Tried to get a shot on net. Meanwhile, from Illinois, we have Gurney, Park Ridge, Winnetka, Chicago, Lenox, Winnetka, Evanston, Hinsdale, Northbrook, Rockford, Lake Forest. Been there. Round Lake and Wilmette. All across these states coming here to meet in Bloomington, Minnesota to show down, and it's been a fun one. CYA obviously dominating. I mean, there's no surprise there when you look at the score, but the Gamblers have had their moments as well. Starich, a guy that has stood out. Flanagan, who just had it moments ago, has the lone goal. A lot of speed on that guy. Certainly someone to watch out for if you're covering the Wisconsin high school ranks as he approaches that rightful age. An absolute blast from the blue line. Came from Jack Savino, one of the better defenders on this CYA team. This is a little bit more on the chilly side with regards to rinks. And Austin, my producer and cameraman, is wearing shorts and a t-shirt. I mean, pretty impressive. Don't know how that's possible. I'm wearing my thickest pants, polo, and a sweater. And I could have another layer. My partner Rick said a t-shirt would be fine. He's absolutely ridiculous, and he has a hoodie on now. He's lost his mind. And the thing is I know better. I've been across many rinks. I've never met one that you can be inside and that a t-shirt is fully comfortable. But Austin is a man, a myth, and a legend. 20 seconds left in the first of 2 games we will be broadcasting here on Rink 2. Rick's in the middle of his 3rd game. He's got 4. And now we got 10. A penalty, but it's not going to matter, was called a few seconds ago. And a little bit of a 3-2-1 buzzer. There you hear it, and that will wrap up our coverage. CYA against the JR Gamblers, both teams 06 and younger. The team from Chicago, led by Nico Dimitrakos, takes down Matt Carey's Gamblers by the score of 10-1. For Austin Herzog and the Western States Invitational and Youth Hockey Hub, my name is Alex Zappa. Thank you for joining us this evening. We will have one more game on the docket, so feel free to stick around, but if not, until next time.